Most of us here at St. Pat's know about the For Us program that Kim and Diego put together about 10 years ago. The For Us program raises money to buy ultrasound machines for crisis pregnancy centers. What's amazing about these ultrasound machines is that they show us what is hidden within. 96% of the women who see that little child within their womb choose to keep the child, to carry the child to term, most of them raising the child. It restores that moment of trust that has been blanketed with fear. Now, Diego and Kim have a slogan for us. It's illuminating hope. Illuminating hope. What the psalm said today. We place our trust in you. We place our trust in hope. It's amazing how this brief moment of revelation in this ultrasound can restore hope to people who feel fear, because they come to see what's hidden inside. Possibility is illuminated. Now, 2,000 years ago, when Jesus took Peter, James, and John up the mountain, he revealed what was hidden right in front of them. Just a few days before, Jesus had told them that the Son of God, the Son of Man, would have to be handed over to the authorities, would have to suffer and be crucified. And it absolutely shocked the apostles. They didn't think that the Messiah was going to be someone who would be destroyed, who would be killed. They were so shocked that Peter himself confronted Jesus and told him, "I won't let this happen." And Jesus had to rebuke him. So here it is a few days later, and they're up on top of the mountain with Jesus, who is going to try to restore their hope. He's going to show them what has been hidden right in front of their eyes. For the time they've been following Jesus in Galilee, they'd watched the miracles, they had heard the teachings, but they had only seen his human nature. Up on that mountaintop with Moses and Elijah nearby, he showed them his divine nature. He showed them what was hidden for just a brief moment. In his glory, they came to see that he was not just a man, that he was, in fact, God's Son, and that voice confirmed it. Now, if you remember, just last week we heard the temptations, and when Satan tempted Jesus, he said, "If you are the Son of God." Satan couldn't see that Jesus was the Son of God. If you are the Son of God. And Satan himself took Jesus to a mountaintop, trying to get Jesus to reveal who he was, and Jesus refused. But here on the mountaintop with the believers, with Peter, James, and John, whose hearts were beginning to doubt, Jesus shows himself for who he is. And the voice declares, "You are my Son, with whom I am pleased." And in a sense, he says, don't listen to Satan, listen to him. Don't listen to your doubts, trust in him. Don't fall into despair, listen to hope as it's poured out to you. But Jesus knows that it's only a moment on that mountaintop. In order for him to be truly glorified, he must first be crucified. The story needs to shift from Galilee to Jerusalem. They need to set aside the ministry in Galilee. They need to set aside Moses and Elijah, for Jesus fulfills and holds them within. And he must proceed to Jerusalem, to the destiny of the cross. It was no longer the time of Moses and Elijah. Now was the time of Peter and James and John. Now was the time of fulfillment. Jesus trusted in that, and he needed his apostles to trust when he told them, "Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Fearful times are coming, but be not afraid. And from that mountain, he set his face toward Jerusalem, with his apostles following. He set his feet toward the cross to be crucified before he was glorified. So what does this have to do with us today? Because we know the end of the story, we know the resurrection, we know it, and we believe that Jesus was the Son of God. So what does this have to do with St. Pat's? What does this have to do with Christianity? What does this have to do with our world today? Here's what I think. I think our faith is like that ultrasound machine. I think Christ is like the ultrasound. He allows us to see what is hidden in the people who surround us today. People who come here to this place with hopes and dreams, but also with broken hearts, with fears and doubts. We've lost beloved members of our community recently. Heartbreak. We've watched personal, professional, and political arguments breaking out. And sometimes we need to see beyond the surface so that we can see that each and every one of us is still a beloved son and daughter of God. Because God is for us. He's always been for us. And that restores our hope as Jesus reveals to us what's always in front of us, that we are people with a divine spark within us, made in the image and likeness of God, that we are in fact broken but healed by our faith and God's faith in us. There's one other thing that I think we can see that's hidden all around us and yet can be revealed. Our city of Tacoma has become a place of homelessness. We've seen people on the streets, sometimes living under tarps along Tacoma Avenue. In 2 weeks' time, we at St. Pat's will be hosting Family Network. Family Housing Network is a way for us to help families who are in crisis, who are in fact people who are sons and daughters of God but have no place to stay. In 2 weeks' time, they'll be staying at the parish center for a week. And we're going to need people to help out, providing food, friendship, overnight accommodation here at the parish center. The sign-up sheets are out in the main gathering space. And if you feel called to illuminate hope for others, I swear to you that it will illuminate hope for you as well. God declares us his sons and daughters. And he asks us to listen to Christ. Well, Christ calls us to care for one another, to care for the least among us. And during this season of Lent, may it be our mission to turn from Galilee to Jerusalem, to turn from doubt to hope, to turn from feelings of isolation and brokenness to feelings of healing and ministry to others. God is for us. Who can possibly be against? God bless.